In other videos of mine, I've touched on the idea of mental yoga. And today I want to do a slightly deeper dive into it and unpack the idea a bit more for you. I love yoga. Now, I'm not a yoga master. I don't do it every day or every other day or anything. I took a couple of courses. I guess, 6 weeks here, 6 weeks there. Shivananda yoga was the style. I can't even tell you what that means. However, I can say that it made a big impact on me, all those sessions. And to this day, I still incorporate it in different kinds of workouts. I do yoga, and yoga is amazing. And I don't want to talk about it because I'm no authority on it. But I will say two things I love about yoga is, first, it can really bring your mind and your body back to this moment and really into the present, in a sense, in a very powerful way. And that's really beautiful and grounding. And I come out of some yoga sometimes and I feel like I've had this profound nap, this awakening almost. It's really amazing. It really charges the batteries in a special way. The other great thing about yoga is it is also a great way to prepare your body for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, right? Whether you're helping a friend move, whether you've got a long day at work, whether you're on your feet a lot. It's amazing how yoga works both in the moment, but also in preparing your body. All these stretches, putting your body in certain positions that you go through your day, you go through your life, and never once find yourself quite in this position or that position. But you do that, and it does a beautiful job of stretching, of opening up, in a sense, the muscles, the bones, and all that stuff. So how does that compare to mental yoga? And where's the benefit in it? In certain schools around the world, they used to do it much more commonly, they're still doing it. They have debate is a subject. And the idea with debating is to be able to learn the skill of being able to debate both sides of any issues. Okay, so one, you're debating, you're pro this, and then you debate, and you're against that, the exact opposite view, right? So learning to have the skill to be able to debate about the exact opposites. So if you think about, for example, let's say a boss, an old boss of yours, a man, a woman, whatever, and let's assume this boss is, your experience of this boss was with the world's worst boss. Not so smart, not so organized, not so fair, a lot of temper, that kind of thing. So imagine being able to debate or focus on your initial experience of this person is X, Y, and Z, and negative, and then being forced to, in a sense, very uncomfortable for you. It's going to be uncomfortable to come up with a bunch of things about that boss that made the boss actually one of the best bosses you ever had when you think about it. Reversing it. The stretch of that. Now, debate can be about skill, but I'm talking about more than skill. I'm talking about opening yourself up. In yoga, I remember years ago coming across the idea that one of the greatest indications of long-term health is the flexibility of your spine. Oh, that's interesting. And the idea is the trunk of your tree, and based on the health of the trunk, the branches. So not just, I think, from a dietary, nutrition, maybe spiritual as well, but also the notion that if your arms get hurt, or if your legs are weak and you want them to get stronger, if you want anything else you want to affect, it's all dependent on the spine and the flexibility. And I would say, in much the same way, the flexibility of your mind, the ability to, and what you learn from that, because it's a very humbling experience to, when you really try working on the opposites of things, when you catch yourself holding a rigid, strong view, often indication of anxiety, fear, insecurity, the rigidity, the inflexibility, and yet studies show time and again, people's beliefs are surprisingly inflexible. You can make rational appeals to people all day long, and depending on the personality type, their belief has nothing to do with reason, which is fine. Of course it's fine. We make a manna of this, in this culture, at this point in history, we have reason up on top of this pedestal as a guide, as the indication, the measurement of what's real in the world, okay? At the same time, for thousands of years, people at least as smart as you and I didn't have reason on the pedestal. They had spirituality or emotion, or they had religion, other things that are either not necessarily anti-rational, but they're non-rational, they're unrational, irrational. That's not what they're about. Reason is one way to look at the world, to measure the world. It's only one of countless ways. So, coming around to the idea again of mental yoga, of trying to stretch, adopt perspectives and try to buy into them. Find yourself trying to nurture belief in the most absurd thing. Okay? Something that strikes you as there's just no way that's true. How could that possibly? How could it be true that actually trees rule the world and they're geniuses? But even as I said it, I think some of you go, okay, trees rule the world. How can I make sense of that? Well, it could be maybe this, maybe this, maybe this. And right there, you're doing mental yoga. Right there, you're trying to work on your imagination. You're trying to work on your belief. You're implicitly exploring the subjectivity of your experience and the fact that your beliefs, your choices, your presumptions profoundly influence your experience of the world. Mental yoga. Really important. I have, and I won't bore you with the details, but in many different disciplines I've been lucky enough to explore. And one of my strengths is that I have a very, very, very open mind. I can, I'd be the guy that someone said, hey, I want you to see if you can make a car from this can of soda water. I'd be excited. I said, let's go. Here we go. Let's roll up our sleeves and dive in. Let's get past the presumptions and let's try to pop this sucker open. You know what I mean? So that's a strength of mine. I've run workshops around creativity and open-mindedness and things. I think there's real merit and value beyond skill, more into realms of being receptive in the world, humility, these kinds of things. So a few thoughts today around mental yoga. I hope you have a great day, okay? Or, I'm going to say it, I hope you make a great day.